Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me, we back in the house again. Last installment of the doggone training camp breakdown. We talking about quarterbacks today. We already know what it is, all right? Because I gotta separate this video into 2 or 3 different parts. Actually, it's gonna be 3 different parts. All right, we're gonna talk about quarterbacks. We're gonna talk about what to expect from Tua. We also gonna talk about his rating on Madden. All right, but that's gonna be at the very end. All right, so stay here for all of that. Or if you're only interested in the Madden stuff, then skip all the way to the end. All right, it's up to you. Whatever. But when it comes to the roster breakdowns for quarterbacks, do we really need to talk about Tua? Is he in a competition? Absolutely not. So we're going to skip over Tua. Tua is QB uno. We're moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about the other 2 guys who are vying for number 2. That would be Skylar Thompson, who I believe right now currently holds that spot at number 2. And your boy Mike White. All right. Now, there's another quarterback that is on the roster, and his name is James Blackman. I don't think he has a chance. So, distant 4th right now. Not much to talk about. Probably practice squad, unless he goes out there and he's making crazy plays. Now, he is a guy that can move on his feet a little bit, but so is Skylar Thompson. So is Tua. Mike White, he's okay at it too, but Skylar has the most promise out of those 3 quarterbacks. But we'll see what happens because, does the light turn on finally for Mike? Did he finally get the plays down? Did Tua maybe help him? I don't know. All right, because I don't know, right? When it comes to the battle, in my opinion, all right, and I'm doing all that because you've heard me say that a million times now, I think Skylar wins it. Now, I don't think it's going to be by a landslide, like a lot of other people may think. But I do believe that he's going to win that because he's got a better grasp of the offense. He did well in training camp and preseason last year. He's gotten a taste of how it is in an NFL game, few of them. So I believe that's all going to help him get better and help him take the next step. Things will slow down for him. He'll stop making some of the mistakes. He's got decent intangibles. He's a little bit taller than Tua. Thick-bodied guy, yeah, he did get injured last year. But, there's some things there. Decent arm, different arm, off-platform throws. He could throw off-platform, okay? Accuracy is up and down, but these are things that can be worked on. Accuracy is something that you can coach through footwork and body positioning and things like that, making sure everything is level when in your throwing motion, all that. That's stuff that can be fixed. Stuff that Tua is a lot better at already because he was trained since little doing it. But we can help him in that area. He's got some of the other things that you like. When it comes to Mike White, he's got something there too, okay? He's definitely a gamer. He's kind of reminds me of Matt Moore. Probably he's not going to practice as well as he plays, but you got to be able to practice well in order to play. So there you go. I believe that Skylar's going to win it out by a very little bit because I believe they're both going to make plays. They're both going to make mistakes in training camp. But we'll see what happens, right? I could be completely wrong, and maybe Mike White is pushing Tua for his job. I don't know. Or maybe Skylar is pushing Tua for his job. I don't know, right? But as far as I could tell, Tua's going to be number 1, and Skylar's going to be number 2. But all 3 will make the team. Unless one of them is so stink, you're hold your nose stink bad, where either Justin is like way better than them and he makes the team, or they have to go looking elsewhere. Now, if they have to go looking elsewhere, boy, is Mike White trash or Skylar trash. All right? Because at 3rd, you should be able to keep one of them 3. Right? I mean, one of them 3 quarterbacks that we have behind Tua. You should be able to keep one of them at 3rd. Right? So I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that it's Skylar because I like Skylar. Thought Skylar should have been number 2 last year. Some people didn't agree with me. whatever. All right, but that's what I believe, and that's what I'm sticking to. Okay, that is the breakdown of all of the roster spots besides the specialist, because I don't think there's more than one kicker, and I think there's two punters, and I don't believe that it's going to be Michael Turk. Okay, I think Bailey's got that job, and one long slapper, no fight there. When it comes to returns, I think that's going to be Berrios' job on kick return and punt return. There you go. All right, Berrios is pretty much making the team, unless something really catastrophic happens where he's dropping, like he's got an epidemic in dropping passes or something. Now, let's move on to the second portion of this video. What to expect from Tua. And I think I've mentioned this in a video before, but I want to mention it again for those that may not have seen the previous video. I've mentioned it. Tua is not going to be doing as well in training camp as he did last year. Okay? Some of y'all, this is going to be a little redundant because, once again, I've mentioned it in the previous video. Don't expect Tua to be throwing the ball all over the field like he was last year. Yes, he did have his bad games. I'm not sitting here acting like he was scorched earth the whole training camp. No. He had bad games, or bad practices, I should say, not games. And he had that too. Bad practices, right? He had some. But it was overall good. Overall. Expected to be a more 50-50 this year. He's going to have some good plays. He's going to have some dots. I believe that you're going to see improvement in deep ball accuracy, throwing it on time, in route without the guy stopping. Like, it's going to be on the money throws. But he's going to have some dumb, stupid stuff too, because in this defense, that's what we want to see. If Vic Fangio's supposed to come in and he's supposed to be confusing quarterbacks, he better doggone be able to confuse Tua, right? Because if he can't confuse Tua none, then we're going to have a hard time on this defense. I need to see Tua get confused and throw some picks. Like, let's be honest, guys. We play ourselves every day. They're going out to practice against themselves. You can't expect that the defense is going to be good if they ain't making plays. We can't go into the season like, man, Tua torched the defense the whole year. Defense about to be top 10. That's not how it works. It's not how it works, right? You can't say, oh, man, A-Chain and Mostert and Jeff and all the running backs had their way with the defensive line, but the defensive line finna be top 5. Stopping the run, like, that's not how it works. You're going to have some days where the offense look like it's going to be a top 5 rushing attack. Some days where the defense look like it's going to be a top 5 stop run defense. That's how it's supposed to look. So that means some days we're going to look like a top 5 passing offense, and some days we're going to look like a top 5 pass defense. That has to happen. So Tua is going to struggle a little bit more. Expect multi-interception days at times where he was completely confused because when he stepped back or when he stepped up to the line, it looked like cover 3, and then boom, it was cover 2 out of nowhere, and he tried to throw it somewhere where he should have never thrown it. Or he gets up to the line of scrimmage, it looks like cover 4, then they roll to a cover 6, and he tries to throw it into the flat, and it gets picked off. Something like that, right? I don't know, whatever. But Tua is not going to have the same success, or should not have, you should not expect him to have the same success he had last year, and I would say especially early on. This is the type of defense that if they've got it clicking, going on, it should take him some time to figure out and to make plays. I'll also say this. If Tua takes 30 steps forward and is just torching the defense every day he's out there, and he's making miraculous throw after miraculous throw, and it's just beautiful, and it's tight coverage, we go to the Super Bowl. But if guys is running wide open like they were last year, we probably don't make the playoffs because we need this defense this year. We going up against some squads that get it on offense. We can't be getting into no shootouts. I don't trust that just yet. So I need to see Tua balling out with tight coverage. All right? If that's the case, I'm cool with it. But if he's running, if these guys running wide open like they were last year in practice, oh, it's gonna be a long season this year round. Oh, it's gonna be a long season. Please don't expect Tua to do what he did last year. And the offense in whole to be doing what they was doing last year, had guys wide open. Like every play you heard that they had success, guys was running wide open. That shouldn't happen as much. It should still happen. Nowhere near at the clip it was happening last year. Final thing we want to go ahead and talk about. Tua top 10 quarterback, y'all. Let me say that a little louder. Tua top 10 quarterback, y'all. Yeah, I said it. Tua is a top 10 quarterback when it comes to Madden. I'm going to put the graphic up for y'all. Tua is a 83 on Madden. Now, I'll say this. Full transparency. Tua ended the season last year at 84, right? Because of his last few games, I'm sure they went back and looked at that and they dropped him. Because it's like, oh, ooh, buddy, you know, like it's that wasn't too good, you know. So he ended with an 84 last year. They dropped him down another notch to an 83. But he's the 10th best quarterback in the game. All right, if you're looking at some of the ratings next to me, you see the guys that's above him, and it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Deshaun Watson, by the way, is a 79 overall. So he better than Deshaun Watson, who we want to trade for it. According to Madden. All right. Now Madden is a year-by-year game, so they grades and ratings go by year to year. Deshaun Watson was a 79 quarterback last year. He was. Okay? He didn't play all the games, but when he was playing, he was a 79 quarterback last year. So that's just is what it is. All right? Now, is Tua the 10th best quarterback in the league? I got an answer in the video coming up real soon. We're going to go ahead and tackle that. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. You already know what it is. Fins up till we die. I'm out. Ooh, training camp is right around the corner. I can taste it. See y'all next time.